Hey guys, today I'm trying out a new herb garden starter kit. Stick around. Alright, so I found this cute little herb garden starter kit on Amazon. It's called the Savvy Spade, and I thought this was so cute. I think it would be like a perfect gift for anybody really, but I thought it was a little masculine because of the burlap, but even then, I mean, I found it cute, so you can give it to one of your female friends as well, or your mom, grandmother, sister, whoever. I just thought that this was really, really cute, so I went on and ordered it and figured I'd do a little review on it and see how it goes. So I get a free little gift, so that's fun. I guess I'll use that QR code to claim a free gift. And let's see, 1, 2, I think it comes with 3, yeah. Looks like 3 little cute little burlap pots. These are really adorable, oh my gosh. Some seeds, natural soil amendment, that's kind of cool. Not sure how to use that, but that's a really cool function. I've never gotten that with a garden kit. And I'm gonna see, yeah, our garden seed kit. So these are gonna be my seeds, a lot of seeds in here, very exciting. Oh, there's a 4th one. I don't know why I thought there were 3. There's 4 little pots. Oh, perfect. Okay, so I'm seeing that there's a little hole here. So I figured that that was for drainage, which is actually perfect because they have these little plastic containers here that where in my mind, as I was looking, I'm like, oh, that's just gonna drain right out, but not so much. So I assume that you can use these over and over again. I guess even this material, this is pretty cool. Yeah, it feels like it's got like plastic-y material in here. I'm not really sure what that is. But so yeah, I guess it's like a waterproof. I'd have to look it up to see what it is, but it's super duper cute. Oh, and then it also looks like we've got, oh, stakes or little labels. So let's see what we've got. We've got basil. We have cilantro, chives, and parsley. Yummy. So that's cute. So we've got 4 of those guys. And then, ooh, that's a big one. This is like a peat pod or Coco Coir. So basically what this is, it's like a dense, compressed coconut coir. And from what I understand, it's literally coconut husks. We have an all-natural soil amendment. It's like these little black little beads, little balls. I'm not really sure again what that when to add that. I'm gonna have to look this up. I was like, oh, I don't need to look this up, I know what I'm doing. And then we've got our NPK, our nitrogen, potassium, or phosphorus, potassium is K. This is our, I guess our fertilizer, and very low numbers, you don't need a lot. And then, okay, cool. Use this one after 30 days. So that's 444. So that's more. It's like a little slow release, I guess. Because if you, what you may not know is that Coco Coir has like 0 nutrition, like nothing in it. So I can see why they want to amend the soil and add a little fertilizer. Like shout out, that is really cool that they add that. I'm loving that right now. So that's pretty cool. You also get 4 of these little cuties, little burlap bags to take the place of your pots. If you have like a windowsill, you guys know I love my my hydroponic system. I've got my rise garden, I've got my arrow garden over there, so I can always use the lights to help with this. If you don't have those options like the LED grow lights, then by all means go ahead and put it in a very sunny windowsill. Or even outside, you know, right now anyways, it's summertime here. So these are super cute. And then again, you get these little water collectors and for each, and you get your seeds. So this is exciting. So I'm gonna go ahead and walk you guys through the steps of setting all of this up. the first step is they talked about pre-soaking the seeds. Pre-soaking seeds does actually help to loosen the seed coat on the seeds, and they tend to germinate a little quicker. I will not be doing that. I won't say it's not necessary, but in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I have found sometimes if you soak your seeds that they will start sprouting right away. Like for instance, like beans, like I grow like the Kentucky Wonder pole beans, those types of seeds, and some others, they will germinate a lot quicker. So if you choose to pre-soak your seeds, you're going to do that overnight for about 12 to 24 hours. Again, not necessary, but it can help. If you do that, make sure that you're soaking them each individually. You know what I mean? Like you're going to do your basil, your cilantro, all of the different seeds in different containers. I did forget to mention that when you add your soil amendment, that you are going to add this 3-3-3 starter mix as well. So you're going to add these two together when you're mixing the Coco Coir. Now it doesn't say how much. I mean, I'm assuming I'm putting the whole plastic bag in it, which kind of makes sense because it's this guy, believe it or not, this is going to get pretty big. It's really cool to see how it works, but this is going to get pretty big. So this does seem like it would be enough. So we'll see how it goes. So all right, let's get started. Okay, so I've got my Tupperware. It's not a big bowl, it's just a Tupperware. It will work just fine. So we're going to go ahead and put that Coco Coir there. I've got 1.5 cups of warm water. It's just a little bit over 1.5 cups, so I'm not going to pour the whole amount in there. But I definitely want to make sure that this guy is getting nice and saturated. Okay. You're gonna let it sit for a second, and you can already see like this guy is just like crazy. It's like growing before my eyes. Oh my gosh, I'm usually not used to seeing it get that big that fast. That's really cool. That is super cool. Wow, that really took very quickly. And then so you can see, you can literally break that up with your hand and it just crumbles apart. It's almost like if you think about like dehydrated soil. Now there's still a bit of a disc here that you can, oops, making a mess. I'm not sure if you can hear that crunch. Yeah, there we go, breaking. But so it's still, that's just where, you know, it's really dry in there, so it still hasn't penetrated, but this has done a pretty darn good job. So I'm gonna add a little bit more water. As I said, I did just about 2.5, a little bit over. Oh, look at that growing. That's so cool. It's almost like those fireworks, those little snakes, the firework snakes. It's pretty cool. And so you just want to crush it up, crumble it up without making a mess like I am. And I'm probably going to add a bit more water to this just because it's, although it's fairly damp, it's not as wet as I would like it. I want, you know, your seeds need a lot of dampness, and I could see why now, why they are suggesting that you pre-soak them. I start a lot of seeds in Coco Coir, so, you know, it is what it is. It'll just probably take a little longer, but for the purposes of the video, I'm going to get going on it. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my soil amendment. As I mentioned, it's these little pellets. I'm going to go ahead and mix this all in so that it gets as much as possible. I probably should have put it in a little bit at a time. And then I'm going to add in my starter fertilizer, and I will do that with this. I'm just going to add a little bit, mix it in, and try not to be messy like me if you can help it. I'm literally trying to do this with one hand. I should have got my camera on a tripod, but I didn't. But you know what? It's fun to get messy though. So I should have had my daughter help me with this. Getting messy is fun. Alrighty, it actually smells kind of good. A lot of the fertilizers that I use do not smell very good typically. I'm going to get my pods, or my little burlap sacks. All right, if you can help it, try not to touch it with your dirty hands. That way that the courier doesn't get on your cute little sacks, although it kind of gives it more of a rustic feel anyway, I guess. So I'm just gonna gently fill up each little sack. And again, I'm just gonna do it the way that I kind of do things. I'm just gonna fill it all the way up to the top, and then I'm just gonna burrow a little hole for my seeds and then lightly pack them over. And as I mentioned, you're gonna see a little bit of water at the bottom, which is fine. That's how, again, how I like to bottom feed my guys. That way it will continue to stay damp, and the soil or the Coco Coir will be nice and moist. They do not need to be packed very deep. You can just create like a little, just use your finger, create a little hole in each. Okay. And then you're gonna wanna put like a couple seeds in each of them. I've got my chives here. I've got my parsley. I've got my cilantro. Now, if there's anything that you do wanna probably soak overnight, would be cilantro. Cilantro does take a while. But again, it eventually will do its thing, so really nothing to worry about. One tip that you can do with your cilantro that I do sometimes is you can kind of rub them together, like to try to break that seed coat up a bit, because cilantro tends to have a very hard seed coat. So you can try to break it up a bit, or as the directions said, you could also soak it. And last but not least, my basil. Go ahead and put that on in there and just gently cover it up. And you're all set. All right, guys, so I've got my chives, my parsley, or as the label says, flat leaf parsley, my basil, and cilantro. Alrighty, so I will periodically come in and check throughout and create status reports and just let you see how they're growing. So here we have it. I'm going to continue to monitor these guys. I'm going to give it about a month time span, because usually that's when you kind of get like a bit of a critical mass. You know, they start off really slow and small, and then they start to sprout out. And oh, and again, that's a good reason to do a month, because this says after 30 days to go ahead and apply this. So I'm going to go ahead and do that 30 days from now. This is day 1. And so we'll go from there. All right, guys, here is day 5 of my Savvy Spade herb garden, or herb pots, or whatever you want to call it. So you can see how things are progressing. And just as I thought, my basil is definitely the first one to get sprouted. You can see about 3 little sprouts in there. I apologize, my dill keeps getting in the way. You can see 3 sprouts in there. Yep, 3 sprouts. It's been 5 days, so that's about typical for my basil. Cilantro, I'm betting that that's going to be the last guy. Parsley, I'm not sure, we'll see. And the chives, maybe the chives will be next, maybe the parsley. Definitely the cilantro will be the last one. So you can see the Coco Coir looks pretty nice and damp. I just put a little bit of water on it. Like I said, you can water it from the top. Sometimes it's better to mist it. If you don't have a spritzer to mist it, just go ahead and just ever so gently just get it a little damp at the top. You can see, maybe you can see, I probably shouldn't have watered it before I try to tell you about it, but the darker portion obviously is where it's wet, but here you can see where it'll start getting a little, it'll look like lighter crumbles, not brown. Oh, here's a good example. Here, yeah, when it starts to look like that in the corner, I apologize, my kale is all in the way. Yeah, so when you see it in the corner like that, that lets you know that it's dry. This dark brown part lets you know that it is moist and damp. So that's where you want it to be. And just like that, a day later, as I mentioned, my basil here has already started to sprout. And I initially said that I figured that it would be the parsley and the chives, or yeah, perhaps the chives first, but the cilantro was the next to come out. Actually, it was the third, because I saw the chive, little teeny chive sprout here. Oh, two, there's another one. I saw the chive sprouts this morning, and I was going to get my camera, but I was too lazy. And then just now I walked by, and I'm like, what? The cilantro is up. That never, ever happens. No parsley yet. But it could be just under the surface. There's like two. I don't know if you can see that. There's the cilantro that's curved, and then there's one little teeny one right below that that's about to bust out of there. So yeah, cilantro usually takes forever for me. So I'm very pleasantly surprised with this. So just waiting on that parsley. And like I said, the chives, got a couple chives. Got my basil. So I'm excited, you guys. Yay! Good stuff here. So, all right, I'll come back in a couple days. Okay, guys, we're 16 days in, and here is my basil. It looks really, really good. There are a lot of sprouts in there, so I'm gonna say that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 maybe. I don't know. Basil usually grows like crazy. Here is my cilantro, which is kind of cool. I always love it when the little seed gets stuck on there. It's kind of cool. And you can see where it came out. I'm surprised. Is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Looks like 5, 6 cilantro sprouts. That's pretty cool. So I'm just probably gonna separate these at some point and then put them in a pod or in a net cup and then put it in my rice garden. My parsley, it's kind of doing its thing. It's got 3 there. They're very, the stems are very new and very delicate, so I'm just gonna try to be careful with those. My chives are looking good. Got a couple chives growing there. Another one with the little seed still attached to it. Pretty cool. All in all, everything looks great. So this is, what did I say, about 16, day 16. So in another week or so, I'm going to go ahead and add that other fertilizer to it that it said to do in 30 days. So I guess in 15 days I'll do that to make it officially a 30-day mark. But this is where we are. We're doing really good, and everything is looking great. There's plenty of light here for them. I'm excited to keep going and see what happens. Okay guys, we are at a month later, and I have my fertilizer used after 30 days. So how do I feel so far? I can tell that they're not getting enough nutrients just by looking at the leaves. You know, these are kind of sparse here. They're not looking too great. 30 days later, I feel that they should be a lot bigger. My basil back here looks like it's got like a little bacteria, black spot or something on that. I can just pick those leaves off. That's not a problem. But another concern that I do have is that I've gotten so many fungus gnats, which is really bizarre to me. See, there's even one climbing there. They're all over. Like whenever I come in, they're just all in there. And these are my chives back here. That's got chamomile in the way. My chives aren't doing badly, but I really expected more. But I don't know, you know, I'm really used to hydroponics and having a continuous nutrient source being plugged in. Even in my garden out back, you know, my herbs tend to do better. So I don't know. I'm thinking it's missing what it needs. So I'm going to go ahead and add this, but I'm thinking I'm going to take one of each out, and I'm going to transplant them into my hydroponic system and see how they do that way. I'm not sure. So I'm a bit disappointed by that. I've had this issue before, not with necessarily Savvy Spade, but I've had this issue before working with Coco Coir, and yeah, I don't know. I thought it was just a fluke. because how do the fungus gnats lay their eggs? I'm used to that in soil, like certain types of soil. See, at my camera, you're probably not picking it up, but they're just kind of flying around and it's very annoying. It's like the minute I come over here, everything's all quiet and then I disturb it and then they just kind of all fly out like crazy. So I'm at the 30-day mark, so I'm going to go ahead and do this, and I'll wait till the end of the week and see how things progress. If they change from there, they may not. And then I'll just go ahead and get this video out because I really wanted to show you, but I honestly had higher hopes for these guys. So I've been watering them whenever it gets dry. Yeah, I'm not sure. If anybody has any ideas or suggestions, let me know. All right, guys, so this is like maybe 4 days later and things are just getting worse. You know, life happens. I've been super busy and what is this? My chives aren't doing too bad though. Cilantro, yeah, it could be better. These guys need nutrients. I tried to add the additional nutrients or the fertilizer that they said to do at 30 days, and I give it about, you know, like maybe 4 days or so. Probably not enough time because it's a granular and it's not a liquid. Liquid goes to the plant a lot quicker. So went on and added another tray to add more spaces. So I'm gonna take these guys out. I'm so sad about that because I really loved the look of the Savvy Spade, but I want extra basil and chives and parsley and cilantro. Like I said, the chives are doing really well. I've got another chive in here, so that's been growing beautifully and it smells so good. But I'm gonna see how this does. So I promise I'm gonna transplant these today into pods, put them into my hydroponic system, and I'm going to give it another 4 days or so, or whenever I see change, that's what I'll do. But I want to get this video out next week, so I'm going to go ahead and if I see change before then, great. If I don't, then I'll just report back, and then that'll be my status of this Savvy Spade deal. So far, I'm not really feeling it, you know, maybe user error. I don't know. I did everything it said to do. More than enough sunlight or, you know, even artificial light. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I basically just squeezed this out to get the plants, and I'll show you how I did it. I was just going to do it and take pictures, but I figured I'd just do a video to show you how I separate. So you want to be very careful with the roots. You want to make sure that you're not getting rid of, if I can find the taproot. So this is what's called the taproot here. This one here, this really thick one that's kind of like the main one. And I think this is what started off as the radical. Maybe I'll try to insert a picture during the seed stage, like the first part of the root. But this is like the mother root. So when you're separating them or trying to, even if you're taking them out of your hydroponic system to replant them outdoors, you want to be careful to not take more than 20% of the root. So I did pretty good with this. So I'm going to try to clean as much of this off as I can so it doesn't get in my water. And I'm going to rinse it off also. So, but I'm going to look at, because I only really have one or two that I'll use. And so you want to be very careful. You see I'm separating. I'm not breaking any root. I don't feel any breaking. It just literally slid out. So this is now this one I most likely won't keep because it's all really, it just looks like it doesn't really have much hope. Yeah, although it probably does, but this one is a little better because it's got more leaves on it. This one is probably even the best one, this little teeny guy. We'll see. Maybe I'll do this one and then I'll try this one. I'm going to do these two because these look the best. They're the youngest. They're cotyledon, which is their first little baby leaves. They're not the true leaves. These are the true leaves. So they've only got 2 true leaves. So I'm going to see how these do because they've got more potential than these guys. Although these guys will do well, I'm very sure of it. I just, you know, hey, we're experimenting here. So now, as you guys know, I do rice gardens and I have a seedless pod. And again, like I said, I was going to take pictures, but I've already started opening it up. So basically, you can do this with any hydroponic pods that you have. If you use sponges or whatever. This is, I want to say this is a partly cocoa peat and something else. I can't remember. I'll have to look it up. But so basically you just want to dig in your nails and push it inward to open it up a bit. Don't open it up too much. And again, like I said, I'll rinse this off in 1 second. I think that's good enough. So again, you want to make sure, and I might, you know what, I'm going to put them both in the same pot. I know people speak against that, but I do this all the time. I have multiple plants in one pot and they do just fine. So, because I don't really have many of these left. So I'm just going to do this and then gently, if I can, push that back up to get that root out. Well, all right, it's good enough. So I'm not going to push it so that's like sitting hard on the root, but those roots get really strong. So I have hope for this one. I don't think it'll get, sometimes they get like little Charlie Brown Christmas tree where they tilt over just because it's in shock. You know, you're taking it from one place to another environment. So I'm sure it'll be completely fine. All right, guys, so you can see I've got my little pots. So now I'm just going to go ahead and drop them in. This is one thing I love about the my 12 tray here. Now remember I said it's going to be like Charlie Brown. This one got a little wet and I probably didn't put the stem down far enough. So maybe I'll steal this trellis and because that one's doing pretty good. I'm gonna use this trellis for this guy to just give it a little stability till it gets its little legs stronger. And ooh, look at that. It's a lot. Okay, get this one in. Yep, this is Charlie Brown too, but that's cilantro. I'm not gonna worry about that. Cilantro's pretty hardy. And then this is my basil. Got the basil snapped in, that done. All right, guys, I'm gonna check back in a few days. I'm gonna try to find a trellis down here to put on my cilantro. You can also use kebab sticks, you know, those are inexpensive. And I'm calling this a trellis. It's like a stand. It's a little mini trellis. But get a kebab stick and then put that up and have it sit up and then check back in a few days. All right, guys, we are about a week later after transplanting all this. Forgive this is one of my old pieces of dill. But this is the one that I took from the Savvy Spade. It's doing pretty well. It's got a little browning on the tips of some of them, but that happens, as you can see here, you know. I do anticipate that it'll start thriving much better. It's doing better. The cilantro is definitely doing much better. I have picked off a few of the, and still am picking off a few of the not so great looking leaves, and that actually helps it grow better too. Parsley is... It's getting there. It's getting better. It's not wilted over anymore. It is sitting up on its own, so I can remove this little stand. But I'm hoping it'll start growing a little bit more now that it's getting more a steadier flow of nutrients. And then my basil back here behind this beautiful red pak choi. Yeah, this basil is starting to do better. I've picked off all this little, well, here's one here back in the back. I picked off all the little bad leaves here, like there was one more left. But otherwise, it's doing pretty well. I do expect it to start thriving a lot better here as well in this environment. It's sitting up, it looks like it's growing, looking a lot fuller. So yeah, so I think it just really needed that, especially the cilantro. So yeah, I just really think that it needed to be put in a more... loving environment, so to speak, you know, where it's getting a regular flow of nutrients and more, I can't really even say more light because it was under this light. So I don't know. So at the end of the day, maybe what I could have done was use like a liquid nutrient, maybe not the nutrients that came with it, or maybe use that, but then use my own. I'm not sure. I just really don't know what to say about it. I was a little disappointed at first, but, you know, I was able to salvage it. So, I do hope that parsley starts doing better. What I'll do is if you follow me on Instagram, I'll start posting more pictures and
continue up with the Savvy Spade journey. So otherwise, I still do think it's a great gift to get somebody, or even for yourself. You know, the idea was great. It was cute, and it served its purpose for the time that I had it. So we'll see. I'm not sure. If anybody has any ideas of probably what went wrong, let me know what you think. The gnats are gone. My wonderful pitcher plant has assisted me in that, but I really think it was the Coco Coir. So, and I've had that issue before, so that's just really unfortunate. But hey, you live and learn, and yeah, good stuff.
All right, guys, I hope you found this video helpful, or at worst case, found a new little gift that you can give to somebody this summer. Again, it's the Savvy Spade, and you can get it on Amazon. I'll put the link down in the description below. If you did like this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up, or leave me a comment. I'd love to see if you guys purchased one and what your progress looks like, and any cool things that you have to share. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram at the Mocha Foodie Gardener and share some of your pictures with me. I would love to see that. And one last thing, if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and subscribe. Hit that notification bell also, so that you can be made aware of all of my future videos. And as always, here's wishing you guys great eats and happy gardening. Be kind to one another. Take care.